Hi everybody and welcome back. I am a hacker and it's really nice to have you on board. In this video, we'll look at what is TCP three-way handshake, what is message type or flags that we left unexplained in the previous video, what is TCP three-way handshake process, and we'll end the video with a real-world example. So let's first look at what is three-way handshake. Three-way handshake is a process which is used in TCP IP networks to make a connection between a server and a client. It is a three-step process that requires both the client and the server to exchange synchronization and acknowledgement packets before the real data communication process starts. Three-way handshake process is designed in such a way that both ends help you to initiate, negotiate, and separate TCP socket connections at the same time. It allows you to transfer multiple socket connections in both directions at the same time. So now that we know a little bit about three-way handshake, let's look at what kind of TCP message types do we have in this. So the first flag we have, or the message type we have, is SYN, which is synchronized and is used to initiate and establish a connection. It also helps you synchronize sequence number between devices. The second flag we have ACK, which is acknowledgement and is used to help confirm the other side that it has received the SYN. The third one we have SYN and ACK, which we have discussed earlier, which is used for SYN messages from the local device and ACK of the earlier packet. The other one we have is FIN, which is used for finish and is used to terminate connection. The other one we have is RST, which is reset and is used to reset connection. The URG, which is urgent. So now that we know what kind of flag does it use, let's look at the TCP three-way handshake process. TCP traffic begins with a three-way handshake. Suppose we have a situation where we have a client that wants to establish a connection with a server. So it will begin with a TCP three-way handshake process. In that, a client needs to initiate the conversation by requesting a connection session with the server. So it will perform a step one. In that, the client will establish a connection with the server by sending a segment with SYN to inform the server about the client should start communication and with what should be its sequence number. In step two, we have the server response to the client request with SYN and ACK signals. ACK helps you to signify the response of the segment that it received, and SYN signify what sequence number it should be able to start with. Then the step 3 is the final step, in that the client acknowledges the response of the server and they both create a stable connection in which the actual data transfer will begin after that. Now let's look at a real world example and understand the three-way handshake in more better way. So suppose we have a host X that begins the connection by sending the TCP SYN packet to its host destination. The packets contain a random sequence number, for example 4321, that indicates the beginning of the sequence numbers for the data that host X should transmit. After that, the server will receive the packet and it responds with its sequence numbers. Its response also includes the acknowledgement number, that is host X's sequence number incremented with a 1. So suppose the host number was 4321, it will increment that by 1 and it will make it 4322 and it will send it back to the server. And now the host responds to the server by sending the acknowledgement number, that is mostly server sequence number, that is incremented by 1. So in the first step, the host will send 4321 as you can see on the diagram. Then the server will respond with two things. One is the SYN, which would be 5501, and it's an example just to make you understand. And the acknowledgement will be the 4321 incremented by 1, which would be 4322. And then the host will respond with the same number that was sent from the server, which was 5501, and it will be an acknowledgement incremented by 1, and that would be 5502. After the data transmission process is over, TCP will automatically terminate the connection between the two separate ends. To summarize the three-way handshake, TCP three-way handshake is a process which is used in TCP IP network to make a connection between the server and the client. SYN is used to initiate and establish a connection. ACK helps to inform to the other side that it has received the SYN. SYN and ACK is the SYN message from the local device and ACK of the earlier package. FIN is used for terminating a connection. In TCP handshake process, a client needs to initiate the conversation by requesting a communication session with the server. In the first step, the client establishes a connection with the server. In the second step, the server responds to the client requesting the SYN and ACK signal set. And in the final step, the client acknowledges the response of the server. TCP automatically terminates a connection between the two separate ends. So this is pretty much it for this video. In the next video, we'll look at a practical example on how this three-way handshake works. But for this video, it's pretty much it. I hope that everything is clear by now. If not, always remember that you can reach me out in the comment section. So till next time, I'm out. Peace.